Gymnastics is not as easy as it looks. It is the talent of professional athletes that make it seem like the easiest profession in the whole wide world. As we all know, gymnastics is one of the toughest sports in the world, and the athletes who specialize in this particular type of sport are extremely talented. They train with their conditioned bodies to achieve amazing control over their discipline. Gymnasts are expected to perform flawlessly, especially at the Olympic Games. The U.S. women's gymnastics team has to qualify 2 gymnasts for the finals. We know Biles is one, but who joins her? But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Who will join Simone Biles in the final at the Tokyo Olympics? The U.S. women's gymnastics team qualified for Tuesday's team final at the Tokyo Olympics in the second place by more than a point behind the Russian Olympic Committee team. The good news is that if they fix the steps out of the bounds and unusual form breaks on bars and falls from the beam, they have the routines to win. The real drama during Sunday, July 25th's qualification, though, was the competition taking place within the U.S. team. Because of what is known as the 2-per rule, a maximum of 2 gymnasts from each country may qualify into the all-around and event finals held later in the games. Only 24 gymnasts make the all-around final, and the top 8 on each apparatus make the Olympic finals. So if a U.S. gymnast finishes 3rd best in the world during qualifying or 3rd best in the U.S., she misses out on performing in the finals. A good example is the then reigning world all-around champion Jordyn Wieber missing the 2012 Olympic all-around final after finishing 4th in the world during qualification behind teammates Ali Raisman and Gabby Douglas. Simone Biles' teammates know heading into Sunday's meet that she likely would lock up one of the 2 U.S. spots in the all-around and all 4 event finals. She did that. The only one in doubt was the uneven bars, which it initially looked like she missed. So who secured the remaining individual spots for the U.S.? Floor. The U.S. women are stacked with talent on the floor exercise, so the second spot was anyone's to take. But it was individual qualifier Jade Carey who made it into the floor final and left fans knowing a lot more is yet to come. Carey submitted a new skill that she plans to debut in Tokyo, a triple twisting double layout, but saved it Sunday night. If she competes the skill, it will bear her name and earn the highest difficulty score in men's and women's artistic gymnastics, all round. Heading into the games, it appeared Suni Lee and Jordan Childs would battle for the second spot behind Biles, just as they have all season. But Childs, a rock at U.S. Nationals and Trials, suffered a major form break on bars, fell from the beam, and finished 6th of the 6 American gymnasts. Lee backed up her Trials performance and will compete for the Olympic title alongside Biles, who will attempt to become the first gymnast to repeat as Olympic all-around champion since Vera Casablanca in 1968. Vault. When Michaela Skinner, a vault specialist, was selected in the +1 spot for the U.S., the biggest question on everyone's mind was whether she would be able to outperform Carey, another vault inspiration who competes the same 2 vaults as Skinner for a shot at a medal. Carey finished 0.3 of a point ahead of Skinner and only 0.017 behind Biles, who did not perform her very much hyped Yurchenko double pike, opting to save it for the team final or all-around. As for Skinner, because she is not a member of the 4-woman U.S. team and did not qualify for an individual event, her Olympic competition unfortunately ended Sunday night on July 25th. Beam. For the second time Sunday night, Lee was the top U.S. athlete, finishing 0.0134 ahead of Biles, who took 3 steps out of her full-in dismount. In all, 3 U.S. athletes, Biles, Lee, and Carey, qualified to compete for individual medals. Uneven bars. Suni Lee's uneven bars routine might be the only thing talked about as much as Biles' groundbreaking vault, and it lived up to the hype Sunday night. Lee was the only athlete to crack a score in the 15s and took the top U.S. spot into next Sunday's finals. Biles joins her because of the 2-per rule. Simone Biles and the U.S. women's gymnastics team is expected to win in Tokyo. Simone Biles is without a doubt not only the best gymnast to be seen at the Tokyo Olympics, but one of the best, if not the best, athlete on show at the Summer Games this year. She is also the favorite to have the highest scores in all-around performances. Biles is aware of the pressure. She seems to actually welcome it. Look no further than the sequined goat she has nicknamed Goldie that occasionally finds its way onto her competition leotard. The symbol, a play on the acronym for greatest of all time, is both a nod to her hard-earned status as the most talented gymnast on the planet and the outsized expectations she faces in all facets of her life and competition. It's a delicate thing, one that will take center stage when the 24-year-old American steps in front of the world in the Tokyo Olympics later this year. All she has to do is somehow one-up her performance in Rio de Janeiro when she won 5 medals, including 4 gold, and entered the rarefied air of Olympic royalty previously reserved for the likes of Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, and Nadia Comaneci. Whatever bar is set for her by others pales in comparison to the bar Biles sets for herself. It's why she found herself in tears at the US Olympic trials when an off night in the finals left her frustrated and angry. Her mother always taught her she competed against herself alone in life. She takes that to heart. It's that drive that led Biles to return to the gym after a year off after her success in Brazil. New coaches Laurent and Cecile Landy helped her put together a plan that required her not only simply regain the skills that made her the best in the world, but to build upon them. She has unveiled a series of boundary-pushing elements over the last 4 years, and her latest, the Yurchenko double pike vault, which has only previously been done in international competition by men, will become the latest to bear her name in the sport's code of points if she's able to land it successfully in Japan. The Americans are heavily favored to win their 3rd consecutive Olympic title together with so many other disciplines. Having Biles helps, but the US squad is as loaded as ever. Sunisa Lee, who actually outscored Biles in the all-around during the second day of the Olympic trials, is a revelation on uneven bars. Jordan Childs' steadiness in 2021 turned her from a fringe Olympic candidate to a gymnast who may come back to the States with multiple medals. We will simply have to wait and see. There's so much variety. National team coordinator Tom Forster admitted he actually potentially sacrificed a few tenths of a point by choosing Grace McCullum to fill out the 4-woman team instead of Michaela Skinner, who will compete as an individual. We're so fortunate that our athletes are so strong that I don't think it's going to come down to 2/10 of a point in Tokyo, Forster said confidently. The US men's Olympics team versus Russia, China, and Japan. Winning might come down to the wire, however, in the men's competition, where Russia, China, and potentially host Japan figured to be in a fight for the top of the podium in the team event. Russian Nikita Nagorny, the 2019 World All-Around Champion, leads the field in the men's all-around. While the Japanese and Chinese men have dominated gymnastics in recent Olympic cycles, Nikita Nagorny is at the forefront of a resurgent Russia eager to reclaim bragging rights. At the 2021 European Artistic Gymnastics Championships in April, Nagorny became the first gymnast to perform a triple back pike somersault in his floor exercise routine, setting a bar for the men's all-around competition that few are likely to reach. Popular on social media, where he chronicles his training and daily exploits, in Tokyo, the 24-year-old is not just eyeing the individual all-around title, but hoping that he and his neutral Russian Olympic Committee teammates will be able to clinch the first team gold for Russian athletes since 1996. There has been a changing of the guard of sorts among the American men who are trying to get back to the podium for the first time since the 2014 World Championships. Brody Malone, a 20-year-old from Northwest Georgia, supplanted 6-time national champion and 2-time Olympian Sam Mikulik as the program's standard-bearer after winning both the U.S. champions and the Olympic trials. Kohei Uchimura will help Japan. Uchimura qualified for his 4th and final games in a tiebreaker and is set to end his illustrious Olympic career in his native Japan. Sometimes called King Kohei, Uchimura became the first male gymnast in 44 years to win back-to-back Olympic all-around titles at the 2016 Games, leading Japan to gold in the team event. The 32-year-old, a 3-times Olympic gold medalist, will not compete in the all-around in Tokyo, focusing on the horizontal bar after being plagued by injuries in recent years. Uchimura qualified for the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. His 4th and home Olympic Games as an apparatus specialist on the horizontal bar. Has expressed earlier that he could still contribute positively to the Japanese team, but perhaps not with the kind of grueling physical requirements that are necessary for an all-rounder anymore. Since he is competing in Japan and because this is his last Olympics, he has nothing to lose and may surprise everyone with a podium finish. His team is expected to do well at the Olympics since it is in Japan, and they are the team with the 3rd most gold medals of all time in gymnastics. That concludes our video. What do you think? Feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check back again soon for another video. Until then, stay safe.